Hello guys, welcome back to Father and Son Ferrari Rescue.
Hey guys, welcome back. As promised, this video we're going to take the things apart. I've already kind of started. And find out where we have that oil leak. And also, what else are we looking at? Oh yeah, take the whole bumper off again to take a look at the emergency brake and hopefully get it reprogrammed and make sure it's set up properly. So without further ado, let's go. Okay guys, we have the back tray off and look at the mess. And if you look, well, you might not be able to tell, but that's grease. That's coming from the CV joint. And look at this, I found, obviously I didn't tighten, I can move some of these by hand, see? So what's happened, it's separated here enough to start pushing out the grease that's in there. So I guess I have to make sure I fully torque those up nice and tight. So we'll do that. First I'm gonna wipe everything down, clean it up, then we'll torque that down. Oh, it's too bad. I had this so clean too. Perfectly. Sure beats anything like oil pump or anything. I was really worried. I was watching videos on how the oil pump seals sometimes go. So kind of glad it's not that. I had the same problem when I was a kid. I had a Porsche 914 that I took out for a rip. And I was at a parking lot. All of a sudden it wasn't going anywhere. What happened? CV joint came off. So wow. At 53 years old, I should learn my lesson. Make sure they're torqued.
So you're watching, you're rubbing off this right here, right?
Yeah, that's the CV, the axle that joins up to the transmission.
Oh, okay, so we're just cleaning this.
Yeah,
right
and
here,
then we'll tighten it up, hopefully. That means I've got to take the wheel off, get it in neutral. So we might do that a little bit later. We're not in a big rush for that. We'll more than likely get the back bumper off and then return to this later. See, look, I'll see the grease there? That's a good shot to get.
Oh yeah, like right there.
Yeah.
So that's Dad wiping down all the grease on his arm.
Ooh. Okay.
Good, okay. Gnarly.
And let's put that in the bag.
Good.
Okay, and then I have another bag for this side over here.
All right. Yep.
I think if I ever owned a car like this, it'd be every fall I would take it apart and spray it completely down, put it back together and store for the winter. Hello, back bumper. Okay, this is something we know what it looks like. There's the board. So I think the chip that they would reprogram is this one.
So like right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
So that's the one they would have to take out and reprogram. I don't even know how that comes out, to be honest. I don't want to be the one taking it out. Leave that for someone who knows what they're doing. Okay, as you can see, a change of clothes. It's a different day. Yesterday, we tackled the back end, took the bumper off. So basically, this is what we got here. The emergency brake mechanism, as you saw in the previous video quite a long time ago, everything looks good. It's a little loose here, but I think that has to be slack being taken up. I've taken off the ECU on the back side of this, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I also adjusted the brakes. You go through this little hole here, you line up your screw adjuster by going backwards, so anti-counterclockwise. You make the brakes expand. So I had it so it wouldn't turn, then I backed it off by going clockwise 4 teeth, just to the point that it loosened up. And so I did that on both sides. So we know the parking brake pads are adjusted properly. Okay, so the process of hopefully getting this ECU, it's a company that I saw on Facebook. Sounds like they actually reprogram this board on the back side. So basically this separates, quite difficult, from this portion. Now this one in question, I buggered this up, taking it off. So I was lucky I had 2 of these, and the other one came off perfect. So I'm gonna keep this just in case any other chips are needed or anything like that. So I'm thinking the whole process might be about $300, $350 Canadian to try this. That beats the price of a brand new one, which is about $1,800. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this is the answer. Hey guys, got this in the mail. Good news. There's bad news coming. Anyway, let's open this up. There we go, guys.
There, put it in place. Crazy. All that work, all just for that.
It's time to take a look at the back rotors. Now, I've bad news coming, but let's do one at a time. So I've always noticed that this spins hard. There always seems to catch a little bit. And this is the side that I found that this bottom shock was bent. So we're gonna dial gauge it up, spin this, and see if this moves excessively. Okay, now I did the best that I can with the contraption I bought, but let's watch the dial here, Dominic. And you'll see it move quite a lot, I bet. What's it doing there, Dominic? Is it moving?
It did at the start, but not now, really. Now it is.
Yeah. It goes off 0 quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it's bent. Right?
Yeah, it's slowly going up.
Yeah, and then it'll eventually go back to 0. So what does that mean? Bad hub. So what does that mean? She's bent. And what does it really mean? Money to a budget that's already stretched very thin. Let's go do another one.
Hot here in Canada. Last time I checked, it was 32 degrees in Edmonton. So it's getting hot in here. In the shop, it's getting hot. So definitely needs a little bit of cool air going.
Driver's front. I always knew there was an issue. I was trying to ignore it, that the problem would go away. So now it's time to really test it. Let's take a look, Dominic. Okay, Dominic, let me know what you see. It's moving a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's moving. It's moving this way, guys.
Look how bent it is. Then eventually it will go back to 0.
Yeah. By the way, this is 0, guys. So.
Look at that. So what is it, 0 now?
Yeah, it's at 2.
Okay.
And now it's shooting back up.
Look at that. That's how bent that is.
It's going up to 20.
Yeah. So that one, it took a brunt of the force. And I just noticed this today, actually. Look at the bottom here. Banged up there. So hoping there's nothing else bent. This one is goubage. Okay, so passenger front. You see there, Dominic?
This is 0. And it's...
Take these out. I have a story about these coming up. Not a good story.
Moving. I mean, it's moving, but it's...
Very little, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a complete rotation. Yay! One is good. Okay, passenger rear back. This has been replaced. So let's see if it's straight. Okay, so poker straight. But, so, remember I was talking about these things? These are the holes that we put in to slide the rim off without damaging the precious brakes. Well, I had these in. And you guys probably already know where I'm going. So I had these in. And I was doing the CV joint, torquing it up. And I was like, oh, I gotta move it every so often. But I couldn't move it. It was jammed. So I'm like, oh, I must have adjusted the brake a little too tight. So I'm like, oh, I'll just hop into the vehicle, put it in drive and break it loose because I don't have an e-brake on here and I couldn't get to the adjustment. So put it in gear, hear a loud noise. Stop immediately. I come out and I see these there and I'm like, what just happened? You know what just happened? Ian was an idiot, wasn't thinking, and I didn't really think how deep these go. This is what happened. Doesn't look like much, hey guys? But basically this back here, those lathed a groove into it. This groove should not be there. So basically, this was completely in, and it turned, and it chewed all that aluminum away like it was on a lathe machine. Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
So that means, even though this hub is straight, I have to replace that because now I'm worried about the strength of the casting around the bearing of the hub. I've replaced this already. Dominic, am I stupid? Am I stupid?
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
This was stupid.
Leave a like down below if you think he's stupid on that.
Yeah. I'll guarantee I am not the only one in the world that's done this. So, as a rule, take the rim off, take these out before you do the cam procedure. So guys, that's the bad news. We need 3 out of the 4 hubs replaced. One that I've already done before, which sucks because I know this was a pain. So I'm gonna actually have to review our video on how I did that. This all has to come apart. So if anybody has some hubs for sale, let me know. but I have put a call into Fur Parts to see if they can swing me a deal on 3 of the hubs. I don't know where I'm getting the money for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey Dominic,
Yeah.
have you ever searched on the internet what a kidney's worth on the black market?
No. Why do you ask?
Anyway, some research to do later. That's it, guys.
All right. See you next
See
time.
you later.